Black Christmas. So Black Christmas is a remake of a remake, or the second remake of the original. Basically, there was a Black Christmas in the 70s and then another one in the 2000s. I never saw either, so now I saw this one. I feel like I started Black Christmas off on the wrong foot. I shouldn't have started here. From the trailer, you get the gist. All right, there's this killer on this college campus, and these sorority sisters are gonna turn the tables, and of course, I mean, they're gonna take out the killer, right? Kind of. It's not really that though, because nothing happens. Like nothing. At a point I checked my watch and it was about an hour since the start time of the movie. So we'll say 20 minutes for trailers. So 40 minutes into the movie, maybe 45. Nothing had happened. I mean, someone dies in the beginning in a very uninteresting way. But since then, you're getting inundated with the movies like fight the patriarchy social message. I mean, a movie can have a social message. I have seen it happen. I have seen it happen very recently, and I've seen it work. As long as you have interesting characters, good pacing, intrigue, you know, an interesting movie at the core, you can make it work. But this movie doesn't do that. This movie isn't a movie with a social message attached to it. It's a social message with a movie attached to it. And usually when I'm reviewing a movie that has a social or political message, I push that to the side. I just stick in the pocket of the movie like, okay, how was the movie? How was the plot? How was the acting? But this movie mistakes social message for plot and character development. So I can't. It's what the movie is. In that, I feel like you're gonna walk out of this movie going, all right, that message hit me to my core and that's enough to keep the movie afloat. I dug it. Or it's not gonna hit you and you're gonna walk out going, the movie was bad. Because the movie, well, it's the opposite of good. I mean, the killer element in this movie was completely weak. Whenever there was a killer, it was just kind of like, killer, and then the scene was done. It wasn't interesting. There was no tension. It just kind of happened. It's less of a slasher movie, more of a really boring murder mystery. And this movie actually has a few social messages. It doesn't just have one. It has this one, that one. It has a few. This movie has got to be the preachiest preachy movie I've ever seen preached to me. The movie, the characters, the plot, the pacing, that has to come first. If you can have your message in there, fine, but subtlety is key. This has all the subtlety of the social media it was bred off of. At best, you're gonna feel like you unwittingly got dragged to a march while hanging out with your friends that you didn't really think you were gonna go to today. At worst, you're gonna feel like this movie is clubbing you over the head with its points so much, it feels like a fucking Quan Chi fatality. It's the only movie where I'm like, maybe the movie just wasn't made for me. Maybe there's some validity to that statement. I've never really subscribed to that statement before. I still actually don't. But this is the first time I've ever been like, should I even review it? I don't know, but I want to talk about it anyway. Because sometimes good decision making and me were just ships passing in the night. Also, the movie's not good. Just as a horror movie, it was boring. Nothing happened. As a social justice movie, I was like, are they trying to be a caricature? I don't know. Because the movie feels like it's trying to give a legit attempt at being compelling and clever. But the execution of dialogue and situations in this movie just comes across as cartoonish. It's so ridiculous with this execution that it blunts any impact the movie might have had or might have made if it had a sprinkle of nuance. If I'm gauging social media, I feel like people are wound pretty tight and they're pretty quick to argue. So if you're gonna take this on, I feel like you just need, you know, better writing. And when the plot, you know, you get your revelations at the end, I was like, is this what the original was like? Because it does seem like a 1970s horror movie plot, but it also seems like a 2019 horror movie plot. So I don't know what that says. You have a boring movie with really bland characters, terrible dialogue, a couple of neat moments of imagery, but in the end, just a boring, flat slasher flick that really isn't a slasher flick. Black Christmas is masquerading as something deeper, and with all the subtlety of a chainsaw, it tries. But in the end, it's just another lazy, boring, dog shit horror movie. All right, so Black Christmas, have you seen it? What did you think about it, or are you gonna see it? Whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.